Alright, bonjour, hello everyone. Excuse me please for my voice. Unfortunately, things come and go bronchitis wise, and despite strangely I still have my tasting capacity, it seems, as I went to a huge show last week, which made me change a lot of things in between. So I hope you can hear me okay, at least, or decent. As usual for these long videos and with no editing but a lot of pictures to see, to show you among my still around 40 bottles out, I will pause to make things work, fit into the thing I'm doing there. Honestly, it was a nightmare to organize, and it takes 2 hours every time to prepare things, at least, and several weeks to think of it. Now, the second episode entirely, well, also 90%. Finally, 99, okay, percent devoted to whiskey. I had to remade it entirely because I did a lot of omissions, a lot of mistakes, but more of everything, a lot of omissions, including some of the best on the best categories. I don't know why. Maybe it was so obvious that I simply forgot. Crazy thing. Also, I'm gonna do a little disclaimer about how this works before I explain the rating, not rating in that case, but the rating were used to define classifying within the categories the bottles. But before, yeah, you might think, and myself, I mean, I do criticize myself a lot of contests, international official contests, which finally qualify a lot of bottles, and for some almost everything presented, also because the brands are paying for some of them, but I'm almost falling, if not exactly falling in the same thing, except nobody pays me. But you will see another disclaimer which you might question, but again I answered prior to that in a big long video about independence reviewing. Then, as usual, you believe me or not, it's up to you, and even not to watch it at all. Yeah, so obviously, first, not an exhaustive selection. There are a lot of things I couldn't try. There are even some samples that I was waiting that are still not there. We have also some postage problems here, but not only. So for some big companies I wanted to try, I couldn't at shows. It might affect, of course, it will affect the final whiskies that are qualified as the best or my favorite, mostly, of 2023. And so you will see no Elixir Distillers, no Douglas Lang, no Gordon MacPhail. I'm sorry, but I haven't tried none, at least bottled recently, of course. Okay, that said, what else? Yes, so in like I said, every now and then, and as I'm a press related reviewer, like it or not, we are affiliated to press, and this again way before YouTube appeared. And then so it happens every now and then that you get some free, that we, not only me, mind you, and even some do not disclose it, I will always disclose it, get free samples and sometimes bottles. Most often, though, here you will see that it is publicly approved bottles, most of the time, that have been offered to me then because of some complicating delivery issue. I will explain when it will be the case, so I will disclose it. For me, it didn't influence my judgment. And also what I wanted to say, if you find these are too many whiskies listed, for most of the categories, not all, and I will disclose when it's not the case, I mean, I had around the same numbers that were discarded, that couldn't make the list, even for the honorable mentions. So if you are surprised, for instance, there's a big French section, bear in mind that there are as much as those I selected that didn't make the list, and some of them aren't worth be called whiskey in my opinion. Just saying. Try not to be negative, but I will also do a rant at several times here of about the biggest issues after the availability we currently face is that the pricing. The prices who has gone mad, and it really breaks my heart to mention some bottles you're gonna see, some very, very highly ranked, that have a pricing problem, but we will see that in due course. So another reminder, if you haven't seen the previous video, which was part 1, mainly devoted to other spirits, and I have unfortunately to come to this 2 minutes, I spoke about 2 whiskey experiences that happened in 2023, but it's special mentions because there were not whiskies bottled in 2023, or for some cases 2022 that I couldn't really try and that had to confirm in 2023. So in this video you will see mostly bottles from 2023 and some of 2022. But in 2 very particular cases, my best experience of the year 2023 were Daft Mill, trying for the first time 2 Daft Mills. Yeah, I'm not gonna put the pedestal as usual also because it too many things to rotate, to change, and also so please go to watch it. I cannot explain again how great those were. This is a Dutch whiskey, Dutch distillery, single malt here, but also they had a rye, phenomenal whiskies. I cannot speak about current bottles of those 2 distilleries because I haven't tried, so it's complicated. But that said, let's move on to, before whiskey, an addendum or modification that I suggest. I'm sorry to do that, but it's because I have updates, so it's always good, I think, about last week's episode. Stay tuned. Alright, last week I told you about other spirits, gin, an age, best age, malt, non-malt, rum, Armagnac, cognac. So Armagnac wise, the only difference is that a few days ago I did a vertical, as we say, so from the youngest to the oldest, both of the Grands Assemblages range from Darros, so it's Bas Armagnac, the 3 regions of Armagnac. I will tell you that in a specific video about Armagnac, a lot to tell about those. So I picked the 30 years old, which is great, and great value, around 80 euros, 80, 90 max for a 30 years old, even if it's 43%. Bear in mind, it's unlikely you get 60% Armagnac most of the time, because the distilling maximum is often under 60, so rather 55, something like that, 58 max. So I tried, not gonna go, I did a report on Instagram, please, so if you can watch my Instagram, but basically I found that the 40 years old was way better than this one, but of course it's twice, something like twice the price, so it's up to you. If you can't afford the 40 years old go to the 30, and also about the other range from one of the other range from the Roge, which is the unique collection. I got to try others. So instead of those, I'm not sure I give you really vintages, but I can advise you the 1987 Domaine de la Marquette at 49% ABV. They're all cask strength. I won't advise you the one bottled for the 50th anniversary because it's another thing. Right, so also the 2008 Domaine de Canteau, bottled at 50%. Right, now cognac wise, and then we get to whiskey, I promise. If you've seen, or if you don't want to see it but you just want to know the best cognac, my favorite plus probably the best of the year for me last year was the Gros Perrin 52 number 52 22 Heritage Fin Bois in the Fin Bois parcel. Go to see previous video and you will understand how this is out of this world and beats everything. And at some point I gave you only that cognac because if I had to give you the number 2 and number 3 and the honorable mentions, they were all going to be Gros Perrin cognac. We're getting close to that in some categories, but I didn't want to go, so I didn't give only one name that is gold or gold, platinum, whatever you want, highly priced, ranked bottle. But I found, guess what, a number 2 and number 3, so silver medal, let's say, François Voyer, which is beautiful, they say straight from the barrel, which is quite fun. Because usually we speak like this for bourbons, not for French stuff. So it's brut de fût in French. Fût is a cask, brut it's raw. So brut de fût means straight from the cask with no reduction. So this, if I can find François Voyer, bottled in 2023. It's a 30 years old, mind you, less than 200 euros. For 53.6 ABV, can you see 53.6? It's a beautiful house which has also a beautiful XO Grand Cru, Premier Cru, sorry. Also Fontaga, who now does whiskey and that you might see in another category. They do some very nice XO, 15 to 30 years old, cognac finished in a Oloroso sherry, and it's a real bomb. Honestly, could have been even higher if it was not bottled only as 42%, which is too bad. But it's under 100 euros. So this, I think you're gonna see it soon, reviewed within the cognac big video I promised you. 13 minutes, it's too much, but let's move on now to the mentions. So there will be very honorable mentions. Special mention for long-term achievement company, so some very special prize. Then bronze, so number 3 in theory. Silver and gold. Gold medal will be first. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but first time, probably last time I used this system. I don't know. I think I'm going to change things next year and simplify and shorten everything. I know I would say that, haha. For some categories, one only maybe, or 2, I had to add an upper category, which was stratospheric stuff, at platinum rank. So platinum is over gold, and I heard there's even diamond behind that. Okay. So what's the next? So we did the 7 categories last week. The best is also crowded with best world whiskey from Europe and UK. I've decided to group those countries because for some I didn't try enough of each country to detail it too much. The honorable mentions are quite crowded, and there was a lot of suspense. Some of the whiskies, I received some samples. Yes, I was asked, do you want to try our special Christmas edition from Bimber, for instance? And so when it was Matt proposed this to me, I said, oh, why not? I haven't tried enough Bimbers, and I missed the one at Whiskey Life Paris. So ex-cognac cask 52.1. I really struggled with that, and at the beginning I wanted just to discard it from it was my intention to try it with no prejudices, while I had against Bimber, except for the first phenomenal release. And for me, it's often too oak driven, and the first try was exactly like that. It's beautiful nose, but ex-cognac cask. Why add for the finish? Why add cask to cask? What I mean that it's often the cask used for the whiskey industry as ex-cognac cask are often too young for me, and the thing they impart, they do not impart what's potentially the best. But it did develop very beautifully, so it managed to reach the something like 87 or 0.5, something like that. I will review it separately, probably more on Instagram, but this went very well at the second tasting, so it's now included in the honorable mentions, mind you. Then I have something I forgot to. Let's stay in England. This is not okay. 2023 bottling, but I've retried it in one occasion, and this is the signature called it's not written signature, but Odyssey Barley. So basically 4 or 5 years old now. So it's a core range, and it's a great value as well, and it's a beautiful English single malt. Right. So also something I forgot to bring a picture, but it's on my Instagram. It's the new distillery from Sweden, Agitator. Agitator has a very interesting distillate, it seems. I tried an official version which had some peat, light peat in it, and I tried a fantastic one from Barry Bros and Rudd. So again, some crazy selection at Barry Bros and Rudd last year. We're going now to Germany with some Sleers, who had two interesting, in my opinion, bottlings. One was the Bavarian peat, for the first time Germany, peat from Germany, as I understand it, or from that region. That brought some nice notes, even if it feels a bit green. I liked it. This is for the 3%, it's a bit low, but most of all the Amontillado finish, which was really outstanding, and I should dig more into that. Bit expensive, 90 euros. We're starting to rent now. What else do we have? Dingle. I tried a Lunasa. There were some finishes in that special Wheel of what's the name? Wheel of the Year series. It's this one is the second limited release, if I don't mistake. Lunasa is first filled bourbon cask for 4 years from Widow Jane Distillery. Triple distill 50.5. And also I want to highlight the core range, which unfortunately don't have a bottle, so maybe it will be super well rated, but I like the single malt. And the rye at a certain extent. So we finish with the honorable mentions. Something else that is very impressive, and you will find in other categories. It's different versions. Here we have of the whiskey makers from the lakes. I forgot to mention it's also an English distillery, mind you. The Infinity, which combines a different kind of casks. And yeah, this is gorgeous. This is very fruity. For me, it's a kind of English Cavalan, to give you an idea. English Cavalan is the best I can say. Staying in the European, getting a bit more in the cold, one of the most impressive core range and limited releases range, if I may say, I've come across last year without a doubt with 7 from good to excellent bottles. It's Stonning from Denmark, which really impressed me, and I gotta get deeper into them and buy a few bottles. But again, budget limits, right? You know that. Then who is the gold? The gold is, for me this year, yeah, I forgot to mention, among the most interesting from Stonning, the Cow's Floor Malted Rye, but of course the Bastard, Dusty Bastard, and the Smoke. So the gold, the winner, is also an English distillery, also for the bronze and some honorable mentions. So it's obviously Filey Bay, which I really praise all the range, honestly. But this really did stand out and even beat, I think, the All American sherry cask, because it's just okay. It's limited, but they will do that on a regular basis, maybe changing the 4. This is number 3 release, but the 4 is already out with older cask, as I understand it. Beautiful single malt. It's Fino Sherry, 5 casks of Fino Sherry put together, so only 2,000 bottles. Very refined, very interesting kind of sherry. There's something that's different from your usual sherry bomb. I wouldn't say it's a sherry bomb because of a particular profile. The search at Filey Bay with this almost 1.5 or 2 distillations process. I have to review those bottles. Also love, among the only ones I have, the flagship, but also the Petit Finish. But I will go back to these later on in this video. Now we're up to France, which is a huge category there. And again, like I said, gotta talk about a lot of bottles, but there are a lot who also didn't make it even to the honorable mentions. With no particular order, honorable mentions, we have Fontaga, which I have the chance to try. So a cognac distillery, which I had the chance to try last week again, so I can confirm, but even I'm gonna talk about it later on in the channel. With the Stem, which is an ex-cognac and ex-Saint-Emilion red wine casks. I was always a bit picky about wine casks, but I think they managed, this distillery, to work that quite well, and it's quite subtle. Also, where is it? With a very different packaging. Arlette, which is also a distillery, Tessandier cognac distillery. A young single malt, 3-4 years max, 48% for this especially. The Mizunara finish, I thought it really stand out, really interesting, though not matured enough probably to go into upper category. Also, what do we have? Yeah, we have Le Mans, which is from Alsace. I think I have a picture there. Yeah, you can see all the bottles they had in a show here, from even the gin and blended whiskey, and on the front a 50% expression. That was quite nice. So nice French distillery with some proposals a bit to enhance, in my opinion, and others ready. Giving away. Distillerie de la Mine d'Or, of the gold mine, which does the Galade, and this was à la table des chefs. I'm sorry if it comes across like redo for those who saw my Whiskey Life Barry video. You're gonna see, I'm sorry, a lot of bottles I already talked about. Next one is one I have and I will review is Hautefeuille, a distillery from north of France, a farm to glass one, quite nice. This one is with the rum cask and white wine cask. Again, it's still young, but it's quite promising. Also, you will see it in two. Yeah, I did split in two categories the French whiskies because there were too many interesting ones. So I choose to do the official bottlings first, and then the indie bottlings. I think it makes more sense than other, other distillery or other ranking for this case. So this is Île de Beaune from La Piautre, one of the most promising distilleries with Tost Distillery you're gonna see soon in the video. La Piautre is from the center of France. I cannot locate you everything because it would be too long as you can think. This is also I think it's organic. Yeah, it's certified organic, 46%, only 50 cl. This is on the work in progress, so I did highlight another version of it. You will see in the next category. Also, where do we have another great bottle, almost making it to bronze, to be honest, but it's because I tried it only once that I cannot confirm it could be better. 10 years old, specially made for a navigator, called Jean Le Cam from Edu, so Distillerie des Menhirs. You can see buckwheat from Brittany, tribute to a seafarer. Very good. What do we have next? We have two special mentions. First one, how do we do this? Oh yeah, it's there. Okay, let's start by the first one, which is Roselier, which is usually, again, a distillery I'm not crazy about for the core range. Very specific green style of distillate, but when they go to this new trend also everywhere, to be honest, of the not only certified, this one is not the certified organic versions, but they have a new one, which is nice too. This is a Parcellaire, which relies, a lot of the information's there, 4 years old, relies a lot on the ground, on the terroir, as they say. I don't know how far it's relevant, to be honest, but at least they want to disclose and they want to work on bottles that come from some parcels, some places, and see how this works with very good choice, refill, a lot of refill, even third fill casks, French oak or bourbon. So this really, it's Les Chauffours. It's one of the parcel releases in this series, Le Parcellaire. This is 43% only, but this is very nice. I really like it. Also, I can advise Le Tertre, which is peated, lightly peated. But the one who make it to the bronze category, which for those who wonder, the bronze category, it's when they reach 89.5, 90 out of 100. Is that beautiful? And I tried it 2 times, so I can confirm. It's the cask strength, I think it's 10 years if I'm not mistaken, old, and it's the cask strength Moscatel cask finish, which is one of the finishes that works the most with them, I have to say. Just my opinion, but it's 58.3 expressions, very gorgeously fruity, very easy drinking, even at 458, and so. Next one, and I have to disclose the bottles were offered. I was so blown away by the offer on the stand, and I know a bit the maker. I mean, I met it a long time ago. It was a long time I haven't seen him. I talked in the first episode about something crazy they do, which I really love, which is called Birsky, that mixes beer spirit and malt spirit, and it was like hell in my opinion, and I said that publicly before receiving their offers. But the one that before this one, they have the different ranges, and so it's Distillery Bertrand in Alsace, East French region. They do Uberach, which is the location name, the place, but they do also Saint-Vendelin, and those two limited releases I found beautiful. The Volcanic X1 is matured or in cask which held Grand Cru Rangen, which is Pinot Gris, which was grown in soil which is made of which is volcanic. That's hence the name. 46.2. It's only 50% bottles, CL bottles, sorry. Non-chill filtered. I don't think they're colored either. The other one is Le Principal 2015. This is around 6 years old, and yeah, this gorgeous fruit. They have a mastery in the wine cask that almost nobody has here, I think, except at that level, except someone we're gonna talk after that. So we got on the bronze, we could have those two less on the bronze category, but instead, so equally ranked with the Roselier, we have the Casque Bleu, which is another gem and bottle at 48%. This is gorgeous. I will review them, so don't worry, can say more now. Next one is the silver category, and before that, and also because it's difficult to rank, and again I have to pick bottles. One of the most interesting, and sorry to say that again, but it's true, it's the Distillerie du Vercors with Sequoia, all organic, distilled at low temperature, non-chill filtered, non-colored. If you've seen the Whiskey Life Paris report, you have them. The signature, there's no wine cask in there, except maybe, no. And the one in the middle, the 1023, has also some acacia wood, which was quite interesting for me. They have also a peated one. Beautiful, beautiful, very clean spirit, very malty, clean, fresh. Who makes it to the silver ranked category? Some of the most interesting bottles that you might see several times. Where is it? Yeah, in fact they're equal, so it's sorry, but equally ranked, though completely different. The core range from Toss Distillery, so north of France, Artesia. It is called pure malt whiskey, but it's a single malt, and it will be soon rebranded as a single malt whiskey. And also they will put the mention on the label that is non-chill filtered, non-colored, which I advise them to do. Is it my fault, or thanks to me? Maybe a bit. The White Port, this is single cask this time at 55% ABV, and it's ex-White Port cask. This is gorgeous, this is powerful. There's some estery galore there. Also, while in French whiskey, or is it rated higher? No, it's gold as well. I'm sorry, but they're all good. All the, I mean, there are almost at the peak, the limited edition sherry, 45% ABV. So this one is from last year, 2020. So as the pure malt, but the White Port is from. Well, I mean last year, sorry, I mean 2022. But the White Port is from that's why I picked it symbolically, is from last year. Gold, and I thought 2 days before doing the first version, it will be the winner in the French category. But something special killed everything. But despite that, with 91.5 out of 100. Opening up now very nicely. One of the most beautiful age-stated, if not for me, along with last year's Edu Graal, 21 years old, probably the most beautiful age-stated I tried. French whiskey, Armorique from Varengame Distillery. You heard me before talking about them. Also beautiful packaging, I have to say. This is made of sherry cask, different types of sherry cask. I'm not going to disclose it now because I'm going to review it. And if you like old style Scotch whiskey with old school sherry, not exactly sherry bong, but very subtle sherry with a lot of layers, lots of green, and even because before, I mean the older casks, they still have, they were using pitted malt, so it's slightly pitted, and this makes it even more appealing, more interesting. It felt to me when I tasted, is it an old Bunnahabhain that was a cask that was given to them? No, it's 1,500 bottles. The 15 years old as the 10 will come permanently, but it will be limited because they don't have a lot of old casks. So this wins the gold. And before I forget, because it's always a problem when you have too many things to say, who made it silver? Exactly from the same distillery, and I did retry it, and I'm gonna buy it last week. The 10 years old, you can see here, gorgeous as well. There was another expression at Whiskey Life Paris that was very good as well, but maybe a notch more expensive. That's why I didn't necessarily highlight it. It's a beautiful, though, 14 years old single cask, 2008. I think it was 130 euros, something like that. Yeah, I have to point something price wise. This, you might think it's expensive, 95 euros for one of the oldest French whiskey age statement. I don't think this is overpriced. I think maybe under. Everything being relative. We're in France. The oldest whiskies are around 22, maybe 25 years old, hidden in some warehouses. Even if there's 40 years of history of distilling. Okay, enough of French, or not. Now, best world / France indie bottlers this time. We have an honorable mention in that range. I'm not going to show you, but this in that range, indie. We have the Bruno Mangin, which is undisclosed officially. It's Hordeum Cerealis 2019 from distillery in Jura region of France. In bronze, we have Un Fût à Part from Benjamin Quentz, which is an indie bottler. Had the chance to retry some of his whiskies last week. So it's 50 cl bottles. There's always some nice drawing on it, and this is the one that mixes two of the most important and early distilleries of France. They always do, I forgot to say, they always bottle French whiskies. Armorique, an Armorique cask mixed with an Edu cask, and these two finished in Pommard, I think it's Pinot Noir if I'm not mistaken, wine cask. So nice fruity influence from the wines, not overpowering too much the two distilleries. Just something that maybe something a bit shy to make it go on the upper category, like I said to him, but very nice nevertheless. Upping a bit the game with, so I said Version Française is for La Maison du Whisky, special range of store picks from the founder of the website whiskyfrançais.com, which also is held by Mathieu Accard. So they bottle whiskey and other spirits, only French, to highlight Version Française, French version. So this is La Piotre again, the same distillery I showed you before, very interesting. This time it's only 2 casks, finished in ex-Porter beer from the Porter brand. And it's bottled 46%, it's a 4 years old, and it's really a nice release for me. Almost Irish coffee in a glass, French version, if I may say. Next one, and I'm gonna talk just a bit about it and more later on. Where's the picture? Next one gets a red flag. But why do I do still want to highlight it? The red flag is about the price, and I'm gonna let this rant for later on. This is a store pick for La Maison du Whisky. It's called Le Poids d'un Nuage, the weight of a cloud, and it's exactly what I felt trying it. It's a single cask, 10 years old, cask strength 58.5. Where is it? Has it have disappeared? No. Cornog is the peated version from. This is a bit older. They have rebranded a bit, but this is the old. This is the old looking and of the core range single malt with no age statement from the peated version from the Celtic Whiskey Distillery. When it's unpeated, it's called Glenarmor. This is already great. This is fetches around the 90, and so probably the best French distillery, but things might change. I've rarely have the occasion to try single cask from them. I will come back to it, but this blew my mind. I was poured this in at a friend, and to be honest, I was crazy about it. Then this friend kindly gave me a sample of it, so I could retry it 2 times, including one in the video last week, and every time it confirms that it's stratospheric stuff. We'll come back to it. You will understand why. I'm not giving the rating now. You will understand why. So please stay tuned and watch it up to the end. Next category, North America, which I will rather say recommended whiskies of the year instead of best, because I haven't tried a lot, I gotta be honest with you. So one of the stands I went, which stand out, it's single malt category, it's of course Westland. Westland, I tried all these expressions, I talked about them in Whisky Life Paris. So what I will say is the new core range expression with no name, but it's called Thoughtfully Made Now. Yeah, like this, you see on the that one. So it combines now the 3 previous expressions: the American single malt, the sherry wood, and the peated version. I found it in the context of the live show a bit shy, but I had probably too many things before. But nice, yet still nice. But what impressed him more, of course, it's a Garryana with local oak, the Colère, and also the first Solemn, which is the first peat from Seattle, from Washington States. It's just crazy now what's happening with local peat. So Westland, yeah. Also there was something special. I explained that in my Whisky Life Paris video. It's not available now. So yeah. I also tried Heaven Hill. Forgot to bring the bottle of the reduced, the barrel proof, the 12, which was rather nice. I forgot, unfortunately, to note down which code, alpha code or alphanumeric code it had to give you, so can tell you this batch. I apologize. Also for the first time, because it was never distributed there, I tasted the Eligacrade straight rye, which I found sweet and soft, very nice. Another highlight, and I managed finally to get me a bottle. Well, a 12. So beautifully floral, fruity, gorgeous straight bourbon, wheated bourbon, but they still don't disclose how much there is wheat in there. I usually love wheated bourbon. Maker's Mark, Larceny. I'm afraid that's all for the American section. In 2022 I loved High West, Michter's and other things. Westward, so-so, but some nice things. Okay, let's go to now best world whiskey for Asia and Australasia. Australasia means basically Australia and New Zealand. Let me pause. Yeah, and I see I forgot even this time, because it's so tiny, to make you understand, it's so tiny written that Indie Bottlers for France, I forgot the number one. Sorry. I'll have to write this down in timestamps. Number one, I'm sorry, I don't have the exact bottle. I have the Grenache, Finition Grenache, Émeric Roberel de Climens, probably nowadays the guy who knows the best. I will dare to say that, and I bought them. Probably the guys who knows the best how to tame a wine cask in the world, I believe. I don't know. The mastery he has. So this is 50 cl. Okay, so this is a very tiny production, non-chill filtered, non-color. This is Banyuls cask. This was one of my whiskies of the year in 2020. They have now one called Grenache Gris, which is beautiful. Couldn't get it on time, so instead I bought the first in 70 cl this time, peated expression, which is basically this version, which is a Sauterne casks, but they added some Islay peat casks in there, and that was nice. It's very different from your usual peated Scottish whiskey, mind you. It's kind of grassy peat. It's almost in the old Connemara grassy style. I loved it, some hated, so it's up to you. Let's see if it can interest you. Yeah, so let's go back to Asia, Australasia. Some honorable mentions: Cape Grace, which relying too much on oak for me for now, from New Zealand. No pics, sorry. They are on my Instagram. Starward, I tried almost all these. Yeah, Kangaroo tells you it's in Australia. Starward, I still believe the cask strength store pick Apera cask bottled in 2020 for La Maison de Whisky is the best Starward I ever tried, though I love the 40s as well. I had an issue this year. It's only not mentioned because there's some that weren't good, but some, for instance, the stout that I really wanted to love, the stout cask, you can see here in there, they couldn't help them to use wine cask plus stout cask, and for me it kind of did cause a problem. And many expressions were too winey, but there was still some quality there, so it's, let's say, a low honorable mention. Sorry guys, this time. But again, I didn't try everything on the stand, only 3-4, while there was 6-7 or more. Yeah, let me pause a sec. Okay, there's an interesting category now, which I thought it would be easy, but it was absolutely not easy to judge. Some bottling stay at the honorable mention for some specific reason, some because I don't have them to show you and it's a bit complicated. For instance, the Shizuoka, which I really loved, the Prologue K and Contact S ink design, black and white, gorgeous. There was also, I still don't really know what to think of, if I like it or hate it, the Lag, with a very weird cork, rounded, and the boxes with a very flashy and thrashy, I don't know, but as I love the whiskies as well, so they're gonna be quoted again, but maybe I love the design more, I don't know. One who was supposed to be the winner on the design design of the year, but I decided not to make it a winner. Why? It's because, yeah, I forgot to tell you, best whiskey design for me includes the glass, shape, motifs, etc., the label, the box, but also the information they give. I know it might not be fair, but or how they communicate about the information. So the value in information and beauty of the visual, it's a bit subjective maybe. So Domaine des Hautes Glaces has rebranded in this beautiful smaller bottle with mimicking the Alps. It's a distillery from Haute Glace, the high ices, I don't know, in the French Alps. This is beautiful. Problem is, one, on the side you cannot see a lot of informations. Let me see if I can find your picture there. Just a second. Yeah, I also hated the rebranding of the core range of Starward. You can see there, as I found it so cheap and a bit cheesy, to be honest. I mean, this is subjective also, I know. Yeah, lots of rebranded at the moment brands. I thought it was there. Okay, apologies. Okay, but believe me or not, the sides of these are thick like that, and you can see only an alphanumeric code with a color dot code. And sometimes you have the same number and letters, and what changes is just if it's a spot in yellow or a square in yellow. Come on. And there's no information, and there's no also QR codes. How we're gonna work to know what it is? And also I struggle with the content, so now I have to pick I have to yet to pick some. And again, a mistake on the oh my god, how do I mistake on all this category? I don't know. I'm not gonna make it another video. Okay, let's keep a bit of suspense for the design and completely mixed up. The Asia category, of course, I didn't tell you who made it. And last honorable mention, thanks to Menno, the Indri that a lot of people, the Trini, and I even tried yesterday for the first time the cask strength Dru. This is good whiskey, but for me comes across a bit weird with a kind of multivitamin exotic fruit artificial impression of it. So the Trini, you have the impression to have a single pot still in there, but there's something that clashes it, that for me rings a bell of, it is not, of course, artificial flavor, but there's something that doesn't really connect with me. That's why it's rating around 85, which is still good, but cannot go higher because there's something that doesn't come across as natural for me. Sorry, but still thanks, because I have discovered it. Bronze medal, and I forget the picks, is the Rampur Indian whiskey double cask and select. The silver goes to, where are they? Oh yeah, that's this way, sorry. Two of my favorite Japanese distilleries, but I showing this with a heavy heart because this is no age statement, Yoichi and Miyagi-Kyo. This is good. This is almost 90 material for me. Or is it? Haven't reviewed the Miyagi-Kyo. I owe you still a video, but I did. It is my favorite active distillery, or at least it was. But now they're releasing a new 10 years old at 150 limited amount also, and other expressions at over-the-top prices, which makes me very sad. Okay, let's not best whiskey design. Also, there's sorry. Best world whiskey for Asia again, gold medal. Almost my whiskey of the year. And yeah, Rampur, the Jugal Bandi series. We review it, so I'm not going into detail. It's an IPA finished cask. It's 52.4. This is a gorgeous exotic fruit bomb, and this is insanely good. You will see it again in this. So I'm not going too far with that. Let's get back to whiskey design. I'm sorry again to have mixed up categories. It happened several times in the. I'm going to be very cautious now. Best whiskey design, bronze, is of course a bottle you're going to see again in this video. Isle of Harris. Why not more than bronze? I was expecting a tall bottle. To put a long story short, I did a big video about the opening of this, etc. And also, as much as the packaging looks gorgeous, it is not practical and quite dangerous potentially, so that's why it's not higher on the list. They're gonna change it, they tell me, so it's but the content is gorgeous. Also, yeah, I mean, I showed you before, if I can, I have to put this bottle out because you're gonna see it again, because it's a very good bottle, to be honest. It's the Lakes. Where are you, the Lakes? This one also, you have to see it again. I gotta pause. Yes, remember, so beautiful design. Not only this, but this shape that comes on the glass under. You cannot see it well, sorry. Under the glass, the glass bottom has this shape. So it's, I know, there's something almost religious about this. And also this Escher-like drawing. This is super gorgeous. I mean, not only it's very good inside, often a mix of sherry and wine cask, but they do that very well. Right. Again, Rampur is not winning, but comes very close. Not winning for only one reason: there's not enough information about the whiskey in there and there. And even in the gorgeous, let me show you this. This is, yeah, a bit luxury thing. I bought this 115 euros. There's no age statement, but it's tropical aging, so no big deal. Comes across as like an 8-10 years old. Well, it's probably only 4. Even more than maybe 12 years old. So yeah, when you open it, there's this. It's very simple, but it's beautiful, and the different expressions from this series, limited release, have other colors. So, and I can show you if I have time, which I haven't. Yeah, this is my own personal calendar. I do each year. This is only a picture which is not mine on this calendar, but you can see the other colors. Right. Yeah, who makes it? For the box and for the bottle, both. Number one. I know I'm gonna talk to you a lot today about 2 distilleries. One which is on the table, obviously, you can see, and this one. So it's a kind of English and French winning today. I love this. You have a gannet, a kind of a bird, fou de bassin in French. You have the engraving, you have the sea to tell you this is near the sea. You have this drawing there, very minimal, that's true. But for me, it's almost a wink to a French painter called Nicolas de Stael, which is very famous. This is an English craft distillery, but also linked to a brewery. you see this some information there, but what I like the most is the box, which has not only this beautiful design, but also the process summarized, of course, the process of growing barley, grinding barley, malting barley, then distilling the barley with a unique process. I'm gonna go through that in the video. And also the cask to the bottle. I found this gorgeous, really gorgeous, and the colors change a little bit according to the version. Not so much in the one I have, but for instance this is a peated, so always the kind of gold horizon, but you see. And when you have the Moscatel and the Astiar version, it goes up more reddish colors. So yeah, gorgeous, beautiful. I don't know what you think, agree or not, not only for the whiskey but the design. Recommended all countries blended whiskey Scotch of the years. Not many tasted in that category, around 10 maybe. So I didn't have any honorable mention exceptionally for this one. No, blended Scotch, yeah, to start. One that really surprised me, despite its very low ABV, 40%, very low, not for a blend, I mean, it's usual, but where is it? I should start like this, and it's gonna be almost as long as the other video, I'm afraid, but it happens only once in a year. So it's the second, it's called C'est la Vie, which I found cool. So this is Lehmann from Alsace, so it's a blended whiskey, very fresh, nicely malty, floral, fruity, really beautiful for 40%. Beautiful crafted French blend, blend Scotch. Second category, silver is, and we're getting to some companies you might heard of in other competitions, contests, familiar to some watching. Okay, Kiddenhead 7 stars, with emphasis on this is no age statement. I haven't tried, unfortunately, the 30 years old, but I couldn't get my hands on it in time. Same for the first. Maybe I will in the future, but the allocation here are less than in UK. Kiddenhead know how to do their blends. Long story, I did a video about Kiddenhead, a lot of things in there, go to see it. The gold, I mean, it's not that I tried a lot, so, but it's still a gold because of the value, and also of and unfortunately again I don't have it. I apologize, but I should or will have it. Why is it gold? Because yeah, Ardnamurchan and Adelphi, you will see them also. So yeah, it's there. It's the Maclean's nose, of course, because it's 70% malt, and let me tell you, 70% Ardnamurchan. So what can be wrong? So very nice, very subtle, not blowing my mind. I was expecting, but in this category, it makes it very well. Recommended all countries blended malt whiskey of the year. I'm gonna pass on the honorable mention exceptionally to go to the bronze. Why only bronze? It's because it's not a bottle of this year. I heard the batches are it's probably second or third batch now, and it's Orchid House from Compass Box. I'm not going to detail it, you know it. This is a great value as well, around 50 euros. Second one, again, I fell short to find me a bottle, but I know where I can find it. Campbeltown Loch. Yeah, no comment. Sure value, sure asset. More comment, unfortunately it is not available in France, but for me this blended malt was the best I tried for a long time in this category. Why? Because the content is very good as well. So they thought, why not blend? We have two beautiful whiskies, Hazelburn 15 and Kilkerran 16. Why not blend them? And there goes Enigma 15 years old. My blended malt of the year, 48.2. Again, what can go wrong? It's not crazy casks indeed. And first page is over. Am I gonna manage to keep under? Now, a very interesting category and very tough to elaborate things. There's no honorable mention. There's a special mention for again for quality achievement. So sorry. So best core range or best special range, which is currently available, not too limited. Of course, Benromach with especially the Contrast series, which I love. The triple distill, the organic. I love the which was the third one. Triple distill organic, Contrast smoke, and some also other things. I love the 10, the 15, etc. Beautiful distillery, you know it. You know it's good also. And I'm sorry, one of the best distilleries at the moment. So you will see it everywhere in the video. Artesia, the brand, single malt brand. TOS distillery for the other side. This is super well made. The core range, they have sherry cask, limited edition, but it's something that will be repeated, I think. Port cask and two types of port. They have also now a barley and rye. I haven't covered it, just touched it at the whiskey line. Tried it once, I mean. What else they have? Probably forgot something. And next year they're gonna have a pitted. That will make them amp up, I think, probably of category of rank. Now bronze, obviously. What did I make? Yeah, the only reason why Artesia is not in bronze is that they don't have a pitted in their very large core range, and the larger one, the largest one at the moment, remains Cotswolds, right? So everything's great. So almost best core range, third to best. What do we have else? Oh yeah. There's gonna be some repetition because, like I said once, very intellectual statement. I know, ridiculous. When it's good, it's good, and all the 7 whiskies I tried from them were amazing. But the gold with flagship IPA, Muscatel, STR, Port Pitted and Sherry Cask, and also something else, Failebe, the Spirit of Yorkshire Distillery. Come on. Okay, best Old Scottish Distillery single malt, including indie bottlings. Honorable mentions, there are purposely not ranked higher because of their pricing policy. So these expressions I'm going to tell you only do qualify for that. Glengoyne 15, Thamdu 12 and 15 years old, Bladnoch 11 years old, Alinta and Liora. Special mention, so more interesting, for Glenturret 15 years old, 2022 at 53%, and the 10 years old pitted. Beautiful whiskies, a bit expensive but beautiful. Where is it? Also one that I was very curious of, sorry, the first one in my collection, damned. Just before my eyes, if I may say, Kulila, 11 years old, bourbon and 1 year in Palo Cortado, sherry finish, 46% ABV. It's in the original collection. I just love it. It's smoky coffee again, like with bonfire and ripe fruit and stuff. This is beautiful. Something's missing to make it best whiskey of the year, but it's still great. Oh my god, you know what happened? I did a best old Scottish distillery single malt category, and then I added a best new Scottish distillery single malt category because it was too crowded, and now I have to confess it was a mistake because there's too many bottles. One I don't have a picture of, and also in my wish list, but too expensive in France, Glen Scotia 11 years old White Port Campbelltown Festival. Something for which I have received samples, so it's gifted from Dramore, who wants to know if they France could be interested to have a distribution of their whiskies, so which is not the case. So I received 6 samples. One jury's still out, and it's not bad, but I'm not ultra enthusiastic about their blend Dumbarton Rock, to be honest. But I haven't tried the 2 rums a person sent me, but you know, I thank her now. But there are 2. Yeah, I made copies. There are 2. There's a 1 honorable mention. Will still in there. Oh no. Yeah, I forgot to mention the Macduff in Pinot de Charente finish from them, which is close to the bronze, but on the bronze there are 2 whiskies from them along with the Caol Ila I showed you. There's this beautiful Ben Rinus at 10 years old, 55.7, and something unusual. I will have to come back to that someday. Rancho Sec finish hogshead cask. So it's kind of wine. Beautiful. Another one that surprised me because of its wine and sherry unpeated finish. It's the, if I don't mistake, it's a Redmore 10 years old, which is a peated Glenturret. So nice stuff. The core range, no, we're not in there yet. Okay. Silver is super crowded in the best old Scottish distillery category because there's, where is it? Oh, again, so many bottles, to be honest, too many. Oh yeah, Kilkerran 12, so this is an older one, but I tried a 2023 and it's gorgeous, from Glenguy Distillery. Guess what? Port Charlotte 10 from Brooklady Distillery. It's a batch from 2022, by the way. Also, I have, it's not the one I have, but it's the same look. Of course, Springbank 10. You can add Springbank 15. I tasted both. Both were bottled the 6th February of 2023. For those who want details, that was, this is, I mean, never disappoints, the 10. What else? Who is Gold in best old Scottish distillery single malt this year? Something I loved in the 2022 version, but I even loved more the 2023 version. Kilkerran 16 I've just opened, tasted twice, and this 65% sherry, 35 bourbon, 5% rum, because the Cadenhead has a lot of rum stocks and casks. Beautiful, very subtle, very complex. We'll get, of course, back to it in the video. So we got a gold, best new Scottish distillery single malt, very honorable mentions. I got a picture, but I gotta go a bit faster now. Glasgow Distillery Peated Peaks finish. on honorable mentions, we have the Ardnamurchan AD, which is, I saw it, it's there. Not higher because I preferred some early batches. The single cast for France AD02.16 CK65 wine, which is there. She's a Loroso Sherry store pick. Why not more? Because with a bit of water it got better, but there's something better than that. You will see later on. Plus the price 148. No, sorry, again, I think it's too expensive. Going too expensive while we're at it. Coming from a yellow card for Ardnamurchan price wise, as in soccer, yellow card. This is the red card now for both the company. Eden Mill, beautiful Madeira cask mastery. Yeah, so beautiful that it's okay cask strength, but it's 250, 60, too expensive, come on. Torreveg, the jury is still out between the two French high strength expressions. And Lag, interesting, but again, not sure. Lochli, my favorite last year was Fallow edition. First edition, first crop, or first fill Oloroso. Now, best new Scottish distillery. Who gets the bronze? Who gets the bronze? It's the Sherry Cask Reserve. Who's there? 50% ABV. Very nice, but I kind of prefer the File Bay with the same name. The Eden Mill, bronze as well. The silver, best new Scottish distillery. Really? Ah, yeah, I know why. Well, it's a bit tricky because there's indie bottlers are in. Silver is the Isle of Harris Hierach, the first single malt. It's batch 5 here. I did a video about it, go to see it. Maybe the thing that has evolved since the video, it did lose half a point. So it's 92.5 out of 100. Why? Because it's so well made and so well crafted. There's too much, something I will never say for a lot of things, almost too much balance there. So while on the nose it's to die for, on the palate the finish little fails compared to how high it is before at the attack and the middle palate. So that's why, but again it's like between this and this. So but who wins in the best new Scottish malt category? Yeah, of course it's the distillery, but I prefer, of everything Ardnamurchan did release last year, an indie bottling in the Pioneers Collective range of Berry, Bross and Rod, and this is a gorgeous sherry cask, which is insane quality. Though a whiskey this year for the last category, big spoiler, is this, not this one. So this means something was okay. Best value for money whiskey. I'm gonna go quick. I mean, it's impossible. Again, Benromach Contrast, the Frog Quarter Cask, big red card for Edrington Group with the Glenrothes core range decision. Now starting with the 18 and the 25 only, not under. I'm not happy about that. It's a shame. It's a shame. Come on. On bronze medal, let's move on. Best value for money. I have things you might overlook, but you should not, in my opinion. If you don't like peat, Glenmoray Elgin Classic single malt for less than 20 euros here, and for 35 or not much more, Caol Ila 12. Yes, I know what you think. I won't comment on that. We don't have time. But for me, there's still a good value. Yeah, I forgot. Of course, Benromach and quarter cask. I know it's a bit expensive now. I saw it at 60, but it's still very good. It's tough. Oh, okay, I gotta go quicker. Silver medal goes to Kingsbarn Dream to Drum, very balanced lowland whiskey, beautiful. Just my opinion again. Equally rank gold. This is getting crazy. Because next one is favorite whiskies of the year, and it's the same problem. Gold, equally ranked, like it or not, I have 4 whiskies for you. You're gonna be surprised. French whiskey. We have 2, in fact. Are we still in best value for money? Yes. For 56 euros. This 3-4 years old whiskey, I know I said it before, almost as deep as good as this, which is also qualified. It's shocking, but it's what I think. But you have 2 others. You have this 15 years old Armoric, and I give you the one you didn't expect to see, I'm sure. If I can only find the bottle. Damn, wait a minute. Yeah, this. And this is called, also forgot to mention this, the whole Kilchoman adventure could be also best design of, not of all time, but let's say permanent prize for great design. It's gonna change, but we don't have. This is a Loch Gruinard for France. There's there are now releases. It started here 3 years ago, but it seems, and I was told it's for France and maybe for for Germany, but like the Saneg at the beginning. But now it's extended to UK, and this label is different. I believe the content might be different. This is gorgeous for 44, 47 euros. It's unbeatable. Now this is a 2023 batch, 17 February. This is a bit less spectacular, but not neck pour, but the earlier batches. Maybe it's declining, I don't know. But come on, this is gorgeous. All we like, and it's the mix of bourbon sherry works like hell. Now, where are we in the list? We are in favorite whiskies of the year. Let me pause a sec. Okay, favorite whiskies of the year. Very honorable mentions, I call them, because they're all good, honestly. The Ardnamurchan AD and the single cask for France, I already talked to you about. The Benrinnes by Dramore. The Roi de Mort Petit Glenturret by Dramore as well. The Filey Bay IPA. The Port Charlotte 10 years old. The Lakes Whiskey Makers Reserve, number 5 and number 6, and the Infinity. All whiskies from Stoning. But now we're going to go to the Bronze with the... it's things I already show you, though, so I'm not going to show you again unless I have a bottle, right? Ardnamurchan Sherry Reserve with also I have the prices, the quite nice price, 71 here. Artesia White Port. Now they're all rated between 90 and 91. You understand why there's so much gap, because it's the place I had to add the category platinum. Yeah, equally ranked, so almost. So this Ardnamurchan Artesia. I forgot. Yeah, Armoric 10 years old, also very good. Eden Mill Madeira cask. Filey Bay Sherry cask, the Lakes Whiskey Makers, Armoric 15 that you saw already. So you understand, this is silver because the category has a lot in there, but this is gold in other categories. I know it's weird. The Ardnamurchan again, for Barry Bros, it's gold, but equally ranked, even if it's an estimation only for the Ardnamurchan. The Rampur is 93 out of 100, mind you. I think this is a very high rate for a world whiskey, if I may say, but it's gorgeous. It's all exotic fruit, exotic flowers, precious wood. It's fantastic. Just a hint of the IPA. Yeah, but the one who beats them all, like I said, just sacrifice again the little I have, but not all. The more air there is in the sample, the more is a picture. So this is all what's left. Again, thanks. I cannot tell you who it is, but I have to thank him again. Because the bottle is not cheap, and you will see a rent there. But yeah, my favorite whiskey of the year can be as clear as that. How about that for people who are not connoisseurs? Because it's not a question of color, it's a question of what's inside. And this is a single cask. So yeah, sorry if you can get it. I will not get it too, most probably, because I refuse the price they ask for it. Simple as that. And it's something I almost wasn't curious to try because of the price, though I love the distillery. Excuse me. But oh my god, yeah, it's pitted, but it's so subtle. Le poids d'un nuage, the weight of cloud, if you followed the video. This is not Slangeva. This is santé, to your health, in French. Because my favorite whiskey of the year, yeah, call me Biaz, is this, a Cornog, single cask, from this distillery, Storpik by La Maison du Whisky. Excuse me. Yeah, Storpik by La Maison du Whisky, in the Ex Libris range, a range in which they have all kinds of different rare whiskies and rare casks. So I'm giving the red flag for La Maison du Whisky. Why? Because it's 10 years old. It's vintage 2012, single cask. Okay. If you want the second fill bourbon barrel, cask 18143, only 197 bottles. Cask strength 58.5. The price is 269 euros. They did release for La Maison du Whisky and for Whiskey Life Paris luxurious catalog. They did release 3 expressions, each one 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old. Opaque bottle, which is not my fav, but the 8 years old is 245 euros, the 10 is 269, the 12 is 325. I haven't tried the 2 others. The person who gave me to try it and then the sample told me they tried the 3 and it was on a comment of many visitors opinion, it was the best of the 3. Quote. I have a very expensive Cornock already. It's an 11 years old Coteaux du Lion sweet wine, rare sweet wine finish, let's say, 50% ABV, 149. I thought it was very pricey, but I gamble on it and I'm happy because it's a gorgeous whiskey. But this, I didn't want to talk about it until I tried it, and I cannot ignore how exceptional the cask is. But the pricing, 269, I mean, why not 100,000 euros? I mean, 1,000 euros. Why not? If it doesn't make sense, 500, 600, how do you judge an exceptional cask? How do you price it? Okay, I stop. It's as long as the first trial of the second part. I'm sorry. This, what can I say? It's one of the most beautiful casks I ever tried, on par with the most beautiful Indy Lecheg. Almost Port Ellen, but not exactly Port Ellen, 20 years old profile. Comes across as older than 10 years old. The balance there between all the notes, the lightly ashy smoke, the sea spray, les embruns in French, the floral, little badian, little star anise, all I love in an Islay whiskey. I mean, it would be one of the most beautiful Islay you can get. It's Cornog, I mean, this Celtic distillery does almost a Scottish style, let's be honest, whiskey. It's slightly different maybe, but this, as much as wanted to boycott it because of the pricing, it's too good not to mention it and not to award it as platinum most amazing whiskey I tried in 2023. And Serge rated it only 90, not 100. Now me, I'm often rating around 4 or to 6 points more than Serge. Sometimes we're equally ranking, not often, but I don't understand how it didn't rate it higher, to be honest. But because for me it's 96, no less, out of 100. It's so aerial, poetic, stratospheric. I wish everybody could try it who watches me. Thank you. It was very difficult. I think next year I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick to 20, 30 bottles, hopefully. I love you. Bye-bye. Thanks. I'm going to put timestamps when I can.